we are today bringing you the 1989 Flair baseball cards. We have more. We'll bring them right to you here. And here we have Mike Maddux, a pitcher. And here we have a little bit about him. And the clubs that he's played and the scores that he's made. All the points, the years, what club he's played in. And we have Dave Palmer, another pitcher. A little bit about him. Now he started in 76 and this goes all the way to 89. Oh, he spent a year not playing right there, back in 83. And there's his totals. Lance Parrish, a catcher. That's a little bit about Lance. And the clubs that he's played. All his points, his hits. And there's his totals. Shane Raleigh. There's a little bit about Shane. He started back in 74. Some of his scores here. And then his totals down at the bottom. If I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and go back. Especially if you went to some of these games, you know. If you went to the games and guys always said, oh no, he scored this. No, he scored that. Well, take a look at the cards. Bruce Ruffin. You can always check the back of the cards and you'll know who's right. Strike up a good conversation. It's good for the memory, especially for our older citizens. If you can remember some of that. And strike up a good conversation. Okay, so here we have a little bit about Bruce and his scores. He started only in 85. So it's not too much here. But did you know fact? I always enjoy the do you know fact. Alright. Oops. And the before and after of the All-Star breaks. I've been forgetting to show you that. Oops. Joanne Samuel. Second baser. It's a little bit about him. Some of the clubs he's played and his totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Mike Schmidt. I know I didn't pronounce that last name right at all. Third baser. Ooh, he's played a long time. He started back in 71. This is all the way to 89. Quite the history here. Look at all this. All the way to his totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. I just love those home runs. Gant to Kuval, a pitcher. And it's a little bit about Kent. Starting in 74. How did they get 128 and a third? I don't know. And his totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. MILT, Thompson, outfielder. A little bit about him. Some of his scores, the clubs he's played in, the year and the clubs. Back to Richmond quite a few times. Then his totals. And before and after the All-Star breaks. Josh Alvarez. A little bit about Josh. Starting in 78. Oh, 7 2/3 here. The totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Paul Assenmacher. A pitcher. So a little bit about Paul. Years and clubs. Starting only in 83. His totals. And a little bit of Did You Know? And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Bruce Benedict. A catcher. A little about Bruce. And the clubs. Year and clubs that he's played in. All his scores. Well, the totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. That's good batting average. Jeff Blazer, second base for the Braves. A little about Jeff. Clubs and years that he's played. Of course, only starting in '84. Some did you know fact. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Terry Blocker. Outfield. A little bit about Terry. The years and clubs that he's played. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Ron Gant, third baser. For the Braves. A little about Ron. The clubs and years that he's played. The did you know fact. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Wow, home runs. He was a good player. Very good. Nice job, Ron. Tom Glavine. Or Glavine. A pitcher. Boy, he looks awful young, don't he? Looks like a kid right out of high school. All right. That's a little bit about Tom. Years and club that he's played. His totals. Started in '84. Did you know fact? Oh, he broke the 12-game no-win. Very good. Before and after the All-Star break. Tommy Gregg, outfielder. A little bit about Tom. Clubs and year and clubs that he played. All his points. Did you know fact? and the before and after the All-Star breaks. A.L. Hall, outfielder. A little bit about Albert. Years and club that he's played. Started in '77. Ooh, had quite a long career, huh? And before and after the All-Star breaks. DION James, outfielder. A little bit about DION. Years and clubs that he's played. Here's his totals. And then before and after the All-Star breaks. Rick Mahler, a pitcher. A little bit about Rick. Years and clubs that he's played. His totals. And then before and after the All-Star breaks. Dale Murphy, outfield. A little bit about Dale. The clubs and years that he's played. All his points, scores, his totals. And then before and after the All-Star breaks. Good batting average. Good job, Dale. Gerald Perry, first base. All right, he's ready. Look at that. Look how ready he is. He's got eye on the ball. He's a ready boy. It's a little bit about Gerald. I'm sure his nickname is Jerry. Clubs and years that he's played. His totals. And then before and after. Wow, look at that. Before and after the All-Star breaks. Good batting average. Wow. He's a first baser, too. Okay, Charlie Galileo. A little about Charlie. The years in the clubs that he's played. His totals. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Simmons, first baser. A little about Ted. Now, he started in '71. He had a long career. Here's some of the clubs and years that he's played. And it continues all the way down to there. All his totals. And then before and after the All-Star breaks. Okay, and we have Pete Smith, a pitcher. A little about Pete. Oh, he started only in '84, so his career is still rather new. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Stay tuned, we're not done with the whole box. There was a lot in that box. Okay, so stay tuned for more, so be sure to sub me. Alrighty, bye-bye.